this year in Moses, this go of Moses, I want to show the maturity, of us all. And I want to impact people in a way where they relate to Moses, not just the story, but the person, the human being, that he had a call on his life. And I can connect with that with Moses. I can connect with being charged and challenged to go somewhere and stand up for a group of people, stand up for a person, stand up for a cause. Okay, especially on my own, I can relate to that. So that's what I want to put out there, because in the midst of stuff, we be thinking it just be us, but seeing it and seeing how the story unfolds and how the parts of our lives that were hidden, the secrets, all of that comes into a beautiful story.
The sea is red.
One thing I love about the music of Moses is that it incorporates sort of a classical feel with a modern vibe. There's elements of a little bit of everything, some R&B vibes. You get some hip hop vibes. It's one of those shows that encompasses everything, and it's very black.
The music of Moses. Since the beginning, it just warms me. I feel like the music of Moses either leaves you speaking in gibberish or like totally speechless. It's like you hear the music and you're like, how do we even, what? Or you're just like breathtaking. You're just stuck, and I appreciate that because it was just out of the creative mind of John. And in those moments where we had to learn it by rote, if it was written, it might be a little easier, but learning it just from him teaching us is, y'all. But what you hear is the amount of work that we put into it. And I'm super grateful to be a part of that component of the show. I've never seen a show where the music moves the show along as well as Moses.
And our knees, how they bleed from the prayers we sent above.
So the music here is just it's always challenging. It's always something different. Just the fact that sometimes John will even think of change this right here or change this melody. It's it's always just layers and layers and layers, which is so phenomenal because you can even change a part. You can go from a soprano to an alto, but it's just always some type of challenging song, or it's just always something to add. It's life-changing, actually.
Working with the music here at JGP is very exciting. It's demanding, emotional. Working with John, he approaches things with, a theater perspective. So it's interesting. You'll see.
The writing of the play, to me, is excellent. And I'm not saying this just because John is my son and he wrote it, but it's on a higher level. The writing is what he felt as being Moses himself, because I think that God, calls us and gives us and lets us experience whatever we are to write about, or whatever we are to bring to the people. And so the writing is from John's heart, and that is what I love about the play.
And when it is time for you to rise, all men will know that it was only God who has done it.
It's the words in Moses, the writing. My goodness, what can I say about the writing? The language is beautiful, and each character, the story of Moses is very long, right? But to be able to put it into a 2-hour play, the things we say, they help tell the story in very little time. The words are very profound, I guess I could say. It's good stuff.
I think the writing is absolutely brilliant. I would even go as far as to say that I think that the Moses writing is some of John Graves' best work. What I think is so unique about the story of Moses, well, I mean, it's not a unique story, it's a biblical story, right? And so I think that it's such a great balance of like straight Bible, like this is the story as it is written, but also is so relative to the modern Christian. So it's like, again, you know, I feel like we are inclusive in the art that we put out, because again, there's really something for everyone. Even in the writing, there's so many gems that, like, even in rehearsal, hearing a line for the 18th time, it still hits me like it's the first time that I heard it.
I'm here to show you a brother's love that can only come from the one above. All right, he'll forgive us of the mess we made. He'll turn our children into slaves.
I'm a dancer in the show. I've been dancing for quite some time now, and I'm just very excited to be a part of this production. I think it's a wonderful production. The movement is it's pretty intense. There's a story being told, not only through the actors, but through the dancers as well.
As a dancer, it is awesome to be in the show of Moses because we get to represent all of the elements that God uses to progress Moses' story. So the dancers represent the water, so be it the Nile River or the Red Sea, as well as all of the plagues, be it the locusts or frogs. And then also some of the dancers get to return as the spirit, be it the burning bush. So as a dancer, you're really trying to embody the message of God and how he intended to use those elements. So it's definitely understanding what the purpose of those elements were and trying to embody that through the movement.
Working with John Graves, to say the least, he runs a tight ship. You know, no food and water, long rehearsal hours, JK. But working with John is fun because he has his hands in many pots with this show. So, you know, seeing him come from working with the actors and working with the singers, and then he make his way to the dancers, he's like on fire, so we get it the worst. But anyway, I feel like being, like specifically being a dancer, a part of this show and working with John, my favorite experience is just like being amused, because he'll do something and then I'll do something after that and he'll be like, oh, do that. And then like, it's kind of like a collaborative thing.
My favorite part about the process as a whole is just being around so many people that love doing the same thing, that are devoted. Just being with a bunch of professionals, it just makes you feel like you're not only welcome, but training to go and be the people that you're around. And you have a bunch of mentors.
Will you hear us? Will you answer us?
So I was not in the last production of Moses. However, I did have an experience doing Black Kid Joy, the last production of Black Kid Joy. So when there was auditions, when I did the audition for Black Kid Joy, I hadn't auditioned in years. So I was super, super nervous, and I had never, well, I had a previous experience here at JGP, but I had never done an actual musical or play with the company. So it was an amazing experience going through the audition process, being nervous, getting through it, and finding out that I was casted as a dancer, and then being able to partake in this amazing production just about Black power, Black love, the struggle of being Black, but also the triumph of it as well. It was just great to be around so many amazingly talented people and being inspired by just the artistry that I saw in the company.
Cute afro hair, Corey. That was me.
I was casted in the play. I was so excited, and it was. I was nervous, excited, and I was honored. It was big for me. This is big for me, and it's full circle for me too. I made it. Hey.
A bush was on fire, and a voice was screaming out of it.
Had he been drinking?
If so, I'll have what he having.
The audiences were waiting to see Moses, but then the pandemic happened.
We need our space to be able to let go all this energy, and it's just like we keep getting shut down, man. Shut down.